We back in here. Yes, we are. In this video, we got craziest ways WWE wrestlers won matches. So
How
let's
do
get
we
right
in the
into it.
Nordics live so
Uh,
Nordically?
I feel
Is it
like they
cruising
had to
through
get us
refreshing
back
rain
before the
to enter a warm
actual
chaos?
video started.
Whatever it is, you can't live Nordically without moments like this. Arla Jord, deliciously oat-based, Nordically tasty.
It's time to activate your savings with a new instant access savings account from Wealthify. Enjoy a competitive variable interest rate and start saving on your terms. Go on, get your slider on and Wealthify your savings.
Okay, let's go right into it.
These are the craziest ways WWE wrestlers have won and lost matches. Some are awesome, and some are kind of dumb. Like how Roman Reigns won this match. During Roman's 3.5-year long Universal Championship reign, he had to defend the title against Finn Balor in an Extreme Rules match. Even with help from the Usos, Balor managed to overcome it all thanks to his Demon King powers. However, before he could deliver the final blow, this happened. Yeah, Balor ended up losing the match because the top rope happened to break. Hundreds of wrestlers have used the top rope for decades with no issues, but it just happened to snap right before Finn Balor was supposed to win the match. This sounds like a storyline, like someone was trying to screw Finn out of the title. Well, the only thing that got screwed was the fans' intelligence. WWE literally said the top rope breaking was an act of God. Come on, don't drag God into this.
What type of bush league? How the hell does that happen?
If that's an act of God, it's truly a miracle that fans didn't stop watching WWE altogether after seeing this. Now, that's a crazy way of retaining a championship. Here's an even more insane way someone won a championship. In 2004, Chavo Guerrero was the Cruiserweight champion and worked alongside his father, Chavo Classic. On SmackDown, Chavo defended his title in a triple threat match involving himself, his dad, and Spike Dudley. While it was technically every man for himself, both Chavos worked together to take down Spike so the champ could retain his title. In the chaos though, Chavo Classic got shoved by Spike Dudley, causing him to land on top of Chavo Guerrero. This technically was a cover, so the referee counted, and the champion did not kick out. Therefore, Chavo Guerrero lost the match and the belt to his father. What makes this even crazier is that the Guerreros actually have a history of unintentionally winning WWE championships. On Raw in 2000, Chyna was defending her Intercontinental Championship against Kurt Angle, as well as Eddie Guerrero. Chyna was Eddie's mamacita, so the match was really a 2-on-1 handicap match. However, Latino Heat's help would actually backfire. While the referee wasn't looking, Angle hit Chyna with the title belt. Eddie took care of Angle, then went to check on Chyna. Eddie Guerrero gave his mamacita a hug, which technically was a cover, so the referee counted the pin and awarded Guerrero the Intercontinental Championship. Yep, one of the most prestigious titles in WWE history was won with a hug. Now, both of those victories were a bit silly, but this one was friggin' awesome. In 2002, William Regal found himself in a match with The Big Show. Of course, since Regal was going up against a giant, he was gonna need to get creative if he wanted to win. Regal decided to use Old Reliable, aka his signature brass knuckles. While William Regal successfully hit his target, the plan backfired when the unconscious giant fell on top of him, allowing Big Show to get the pinfall and victory. I think this is the only time a wrestler has won a match while being KO'd. In 1998, Stone Cold Steve Austin was feuding with Vince and Shane McMahon. The rivalry saw Stone Cold become the CEO of WWE after Linda McMahon stepped down and named the Rattlesnake her successor. This ultimately led to a 2-on-1 handicap ladder match. Stone Cold fought both Vince and Shane with a briefcase hanging above the ring. Whoever grabbed it first would get 100% control of WWE. The McMahons did have their moments during the match, but Steve Austin dominated 90% of the contest.
Yeah,
After he had his
won.
fun, Austin went for the briefcase, only for it to magically get raised out of his reach. Stone Cold was never able to grab the briefcase, and the McMahons won the match. The dumb part about this is that it was never explained who or what raised the briefcase, much less why someone did it. Maybe it was an act of God, ooh. Now this is a pretty big brain move. On a June 2022 episode of SmackDown, the Usos were defending the Tag Team Championship against Matt Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura. The King of Strong Style and the Original Bro were tough opponents, but luckily, Jimmy and Jay had an honorary Uce on their side. As the match was coming to an end, this happened.
Broke Riddle though, quick as the cat meets him up top.
Nope, it wasn't the Tribal Chief coming to the rescue, or an act of God, it was Sami Zayn. A shot from WWE's control room revealed that Sami Zayn played Roman's music to distract Matt Riddle. This allowed the Usos to make a quick
Usually I will go and get myself a nice cup of coffee, get my fluffy socks, sit on my sofa, all cuddled up in the corner.
No, that was
tag, and win the match. Well played, Sammy. Now, this next match involves R-Truth, so you know it's gonna be awesome. In early 2024, The Miz and R-Truth reunited and brought back their tag team, The Awesome Truth. The group had never won the tag team championship, but they had an opportunity to. On the March 18th, 2024 episode of Raw, The Miz and R-Truth were given a qualifying match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania 40. Unfortunately, their opponents were Indus Sher. However, a bit of dumb luck would be just what Awesome Truth needed. After going at it, Miz and Truth managed to hit Veer with a double team skull-crushing finale. However, Sangha then got involved, but during the chaos, Sangha elbowed Truth in the face, causing him to fall backward and unintentionally pin Veer to win the match. Usually, a wrestler uses their finishing move on their opponent. However, in this next match, a wrestler used their finishing move on themselves. At the 1988 Judgment Day pay-per-view, Mankind challenged the Intercontinental Champion, Ken Shamrock. Mankind, or McFoley, was a glutton for punishment, so everyone knew he would give it his all, but I don't think anyone expected this. Eventually, Ken Shamrock locked in his signature ankle lock. Mankind scratched and clawed to get out, but couldn't escape. Finally, Mankind decided to apply his submission finisher to himself, the Mandible Claw. Mrs. Foley's baby boy then made himself pass out, and Shamrock was awarded the victory. I'm pretty sure this is the only time in WWE history that a wrestler has won a match by his opponent making himself submit. When wrestlers say they'll do anything to win, I don't think this is what they mean. In 2018, Strowman was feuding with Kevin Owens. The rivalry was actually a lot of fun, and one of their encounters saw them face off in a steel cage match. KO actually came into the cage with a pretty smart plan. About halfway into the fight, Owens pulled out a pair of handcuffs and locked Braun Strowman to the ring rope. Unfortunately, Kevin Owens forgot that Strowman was a monster, and Braun snapped the handcuffs off. The two men then found themselves on top of the steel cage. All Strowman had to do was throw Kevin Owens down into the ring, and victory would be easy peasy. Instead, he did this.
Don't do it! Oh my God, no!
Okay, that was awesome, but since Kevin Owens touched the ground first, that meant he won the match. God made Braun Strowman strong, but forgot to give him brain. Triple threat matches are pretty tough to win, since as soon as you knock down one opponent, the other one breaks up the pin. However, Shawn Michaels thought of a clever way around this. In 1987, HBK was in a three-way match with Psycho Sid and Bret Hart. Bret locked Sid in the sharpshooter, and that's when Shawn Michaels made his move.
Oh yeah, I thought it was gonna be the iconic.
That was pretty smooth, but this is even better. The main event of Raw in 2005 saw a massive 8-man tag team match. Shawn Michaels, along with Matt Hardy,
oh
John
yeah,
Cena,
when they
and
all
Big Show,
just sat
faced
on the
off
Big
against
Show.
Edge, Kurt Angle,
No,
Chris
was
Masters,
it
and
Big Show?
Snitsky. The match was
Might have
chaotic,
been.
with bodies flying across the ring. Finally, though, Team HBK decided to put an end to it once and for all. Big Show chokeslammed Edge, and then was joined by John Cena, Matt Hardy, and Michaels on top. The 4-man pinfall got the job done and allowed them to win the match.
It just looked like
now
it
you'll
was
never
Big
guess
Show.
how this match ended. In 2014, Dean Ambrose fought Bray Wyatt in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. The match was really good, but the finish was something else. After laying out Bray, Dean Ambrose grabbed a monitor and was gonna hit Wyatt with it. But then, the TV monitor suddenly exploded.
Ambrose! Oh my God!
This blinded Dean Ambrose and allowed the Eater of Worlds to win. The explosion was kind of cool, but when was the last time you unplugged a TV and it exploded on you? Maybe it was an act of God. This next trick was so good, it even faked out fans. Test was one of the biggest and meanest wrestlers to ever compete in WWE, but even he was gonna have trouble when he fought Scott Steiner on Raw. Things got even worse once the match started. Test was going for a big boot, but missed and fell down. It was soon apparent that the man named after a school assignment had hurt himself. It seemed legit as well, as the match came to a complete stop and a trainer was brought in to examine Test. The injury was so bad that Test was helped out of the ring, but then... The entire thing was all a trick, and it paid off. Test won the match, and, per the match stipulation, got Stacy Keibler's services. Sometimes you gotta lose to win. In 1988, Taz was supposed to fight the ECW World Champion, Shane Douglas. However, Douglas got injured and couldn't compete. Taz was mad he couldn't challenge for the world title and decided to create his own championship in response, the FTW Championship. It was not an official belt, but Taz defended it like it was. Once Shane Douglas recovered, Taz was set to finally face the world champion. Before he did that though, Taz had to defend the FTW title against Sabu. Towards the end of the match, Taz put his opponent through a table. Even though Sabu was more than incapacitated, Taz had Sabu's legless body cover him. Since he knew he was going to be challenging for the world title, Taz no longer needed the FTW Championship and gave it to Sabu. I'm not sure Sabu appreciated the gesture though. Extreme Rules matches are some of the best because anything can happen.
Oh, here we go.
Kofi's going
Hey, no.
for it.
Kofi Kingston. That's it.
There are a lot of unique ways to win a match where everything is legal. This makes it all the more baffling with how John Cena's match against Sabu ended. The match took place on a show called
John
WWE
Cena
vs.
versus
ECW,
Sabu.
where the rosters of Raw and SmackDown took on the ECW roster. The main event was between WWE's John Cena and ECW's Sabu. The match was Extreme Rules, but it really lacked the extreme, with only one chair being used and no other weapons. What ruined the match though was the ending. John Cena had Sabu in the STF. However, the Big Show, who was part of ECW, ran in to save Sabu. This led to a huge brawl that ended the show. What made this so lame is that Big Show's interference caused Sabu to get disqualified.
Watch out. It's the Big Show. The newest member of ECW. The man that won the battle.
Yes, an Extreme Rules match ended via disqualification. The only thing that's
I
crazier than
get
that
it
is
now.
what Rikishi would do before his matches. To find that out,
Thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna see y'all.